Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good morning. This is David Pendleton, and we're going to be talking about the quarterback tournament. This is going to be rookie division, and I'm going to walk you through the qualifying round. You're going to get to see all 9 holes, the wind angles, and take a look at the shots that I dropped. So, dropped 3 shots in the qualifying round. We have so many more that were so close that I'm really confident that, once you watch this video and you take a little bit of notes, you're going to be able to beat this score here. But regardless, we're going to take a minus 15 in qualification. We'll be moving on to the opening round, which is going to be exciting. This is also my first video of being part of Team Tommy. So I'm pretty pumped up about that. I hope I do a good job for Tommy's team. But you all know the drill. I'm going to go through these videos here next. I'm going to slow it down, show you what went well, show you what didn't go so well, and you can learn from my mistakes and hopefully drop these extra shots. If you're not a subscriber, please become one. It would really mean a lot to me. And if you find my content helpful, please give me that thumbs up button and like the video. Okay, we're going to go a hole number 1. Now, hole number 1, we're just going to lay up in rookie division with a quarterback. We're going to go 1 bar of top spin with 1 bar of side spin to the left. And what I'm looking for here is you're going to notice my ball guideline. See how it's kind of straight right now? But if you go over to the right, you see how it like dips like that? We don't want that dip, okay? That's why I move it back over to the left to get rid of that ball guideline dip. So we play it straight up. This is going to be 20% elevation at max distance of our club. And all we're trying to do is just lay up on the fairway here. Don't worry about distance. You don't need to smash this ball. Laying up is completely fine. That's going to bring us in for shot number 2. Shot number 2, I want you to play at 15% at mid with max backspin on your sniper and 1 bar of side spin to the left. And then what I'm going to have you look for here is going to be this funnel. You'll notice to find it, my yellow ring is right here. So see how a little bit of my yellow ring is going into the fringe? And you notice my ball guideline is coming up the hill and down towards the pin with the ball guideline aiming at the cup. That's a really good view at it right there. That's what your setup should look like. You'll notice here, again, this is 15% at mid distance of my club. Now, unfortunately, as I do a lot, when I wake up at 4:30 and start to play this game, I hit a great ball to the left, which means I'm going to miss this ball to the left. But you're going to see the speed is really good, and look how darn close we come to getting it into the hole. You almost can't get any closer than that. So obviously with a perfect ball, we would have knocked that baby in there for an eagle and started off better. But regardless, we have more drops to show, including hole number 2. Hole number 2, we do pick up a hole-in-one, and I want you to play with the katana. I want you to play at 30% elevation with a rough bump, and I do want you to pull this at minimum distance of your sniper. Now, you're going to notice here that I am trying to favor the right-hand side of the flag stick. So I'm not dead center with my ball guideline. Again, this is a 30% pull at absolute minimum distance of my sniper. Hooray for a perfect ball. And you're going to see that even though I favored the right-hand side of the flag stick, I still barely snuck that one in the left-hand side of the cup. Now, the reason I favored the right-hand side is because you're going to see this is my first attempt at this hole on my other rookie account. You see here I'm trying to aim dead center. That might be slightly favoring. No, that looks pretty center. So, aiming center on my first attempt. Same type of pull. Now keep in mind this is 3.1 mile an hour. The other one was 2.3. It's not going to make much of a difference. But the reason I aimed the right-hand side of the cup is because you can see here I burned the left edge of the cup. So keep that in mind. We do need to favor the right side of the pin. I'm not saying you're going to get a hole-in-one every time, but that rough bump does give us a really nice opportunity to get that shot to drop. Okay, hole number 3, I'm going to show you 2 different ways to play, and this is going to depend on how aggressive you're wanting to get. But the first way is definitely the safer way, especially in tailwind. So, we're just going to put our ball guideline, max top, a little bit of right side spin. You can see here I'm playing with my orange ring on the rough line. I was trying to go back to the setup. No, that's all right. You saw where it's at. Okay, here I'm using half a ball of overpower. And we do get a perfect ball. I was going to bring this thing in really nice and smooth. Up the fairway. Plenty of fairway to work with here. No fear of rolling into the rough, even with the right side spin. Now you're going to see here, I'm playing this shot at no elevation. At mid distance of my club. I'm using a Goliath. You can use whatever long iron that you like, that you're most comfortable with. Just make sure you check your own distance of your club, because just because I'm at mid does not mean that you will be. It's all going to depend on what ball you use and how far or how less you get on your drive than I do. But regardless here, you're seeing I'm trying to avoid using any side spin. I'm putting my yellow ring here up on the rough line with the ball guideline going through the hole. And then unfortunately, again, this is a great ball to the right. But I do think the speed would have been really good. I'm not sure what would have happened with the perfect ball. I don't know if it had been in the hole or not for an albatross, but speed was perfect. Just hit perfect. Okay, now here is an aggressive way to go if you really want to try to rip this ball. You could use, I'm using a berserker here. Now, you don't need to use a berserker. I would use a Titan if you're not going to use a berserker, okay? And obviously, I'm just trying to power this ball from fairway to fairway. You can see here how much distance we get on this shot. So we're almost at 400 yards. That is going to leave us with a thorn opportunity for an albatross. And, again here, I'm checking the distance of my club. I decided to play it at mid. It'll be really important that you check your own distance so you know what numbers to use. But I am playing it at 10% elevation. Now, the unfortunate part about this, again, is I hit another great ball. So, great ball to the right again. I always have a hard time getting my timing down early in the morning. But regardless, again, I think that's a really nice shot. I think it's a really good opportunity at an albatross there. You can't really ask for more in rookie division, getting to play an albatross with a thorn. So, 2 ways to play it. You decide how you want to do it. Okay, hole 4. I'm not going to play the rough bump here just because of the headwind mixed with crosswind. I think it'll take a little bit more skill. And I don't think it's going to really appeal to everybody watching. So I decided to play a shot that anybody can play. Doesn't matter if you have a sniper. Doesn't matter if you have a Viper. You're going to see here, I'm playing with a Marlin ball. Don't try to use any other ball with this type of shot because you're going to get caught in between clubs. That's why I had to switch to a Marlin. Now, the thing to note is, we burned the left edge of the cup, but we're coming in way too hot. So, let's take a look at this one again here real fast. First, notice the spin. So I'm using 2 top, 1 left. And then I'm putting my orange ring right up here on the rough line. You see that? I've got the ball guideline going through the hole. Now, I thought that I would go through the hole just like that because I'm getting 4.5 mile per hour headwind, which is the highest we're going to get in rookie. Then I make my ring pull, yada, yada, yada. And this ball just comes in a little bit too hot. So, I would really ultimately like you to keep the side spin, but maybe only play it with like 1.5, maybe a little bit less than 1.5 bars of top spin, and then I would move our target over just a little bit to the right. So try to favor the right-hand side of the cup and see what happens. Okay, hole number 5. I was thinking about going bombs away here, but we don't really need to, especially in the headwind. I decided to play a shot, that everybody would be able to play, so we can kind of keep it the same here. But all we need is a navigator ball. Okay, so full top spin, 1 bar of side spin to the right. I'm setting up right here with my yellow ring on the rough line. See that yellow ring on the rough? And then we're going to pull this one at mid distance of our extra mile. Notice here I'm using a little bit of curl. So half of my ball is covering up half of the target of right curl. And the reason that we do that is because this fairway slopes from right to left. So we just want to make sure that we don't catch this fairway roll and roll down into the rough. So you can see the significant roll down there. Not a big deal in rookie, but in tour play, with higher winds, it definitely comes into a factor. Here I try taking a guardian shot, which is a shot we try to play a lot when it comes to this hole in tournaments. And I think I can help you get this one. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be an albatross or anything like that, but it's really close. So kind of look here where I'm aiming. So notice that the hole is like split between the light green and the dark green row. So it's kind of in the middle there. I'm aiming in the middle of the dark green row, way up high, so I can try to catch this funnel down towards the pin. So you see where I'm aiming at now? Dark green row, left-hand side of the dark green row. And you'll notice the speed is really good. We just missed this one barely, by about half a green square to the right. So what I would do then is, unfortunately on my other account, I hit a nasty great shot. So what I would do, instead of aiming right there, why don't we just try to move that half of a green square over to the left, and then that would put us in the light green row. So favoring the right-hand side of the light green row is what I would try. All right, this is a fun hole. Hole number 6, we are definitely going to be trying to drive the green on tailwind, which we're able to accomplish here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the shot at 0% elevation, and then after I pull my rings, I'm going to push my target back up to max, which you're going to see here. I'm going almost full overpower with half of a ball of curl to the right. That's a good camera angle on this hole when we get that, okay? So here I come in onto the fairway on the backhand side of the hole, leaving that for an easy shot to chip in for an extra eagle. So you know the drill here. You just take your wedge with max top spin. I don't really adjust rings because I'm getting direct headwind. So here I just know I leave my ball guide line through the pin, hit perfect, and I'm good to go for an eagle. Now, here is another shot on my other account. Same thing though, max top to right with a Titan. We don't want to use a Kingmaker because we don't really want to reduce the wind. We do need the tailwind in our favor. But you're going to see here, same type of shot. Half a ball of curl to the right. So this time, a great shot to the left. But the only reason I'm showing this to you is, again, we get the camera angle that we want. But just depending on your drive and how you hit the ball, you might be in different areas of the fairway or fringe. So you notice on the first one we came in top. Here we're kind of more to the side. But either way, those are easy shots to chip in for an eagle. And that brings us into hole number 7. Hole number 7 is a par 3. I'm playing at 10%. I'm playing it at mid-distance. I put mid on the graphic. I'm playing this at minimum distance. This is not a mid-distance shot. This is a minimum distance shot at 10% elevation. You're going to see here I'm leaving the ball guide line through the hole pretty significantly because we have such a far room from target to the hole. I'm just trying to account for the secondary wind push. Perfect ball. So we missed this one to the left-hand side. It's going to be hard to figure out the speed, okay? Because on my other account, I decided to use a little bit of backspin because you saw that the ball kind of took off there once it hit the green. But then I came up short on the hole. So really, if we take a look at this again, it's going to be a little bit of a tougher one. I would probably use just a click of backspin, but then one full bar of side spin to the right with the navigator and see what happens. I do think this is going to be the tougher one to get a hole-in-one on, but still a very easy birdie, and you'll get your chance to maybe drop it. Now, hole number 8, we're going to play this one 10% elevation at mid. We're going to switch this out for a katana just so we can get the side spin to the left to avoid the sand trap here. Now, I will tell you, okay, this is normally an easy eagle, but if you're somebody who wants to gamble, I don't have the replay for you, but I can tell you, again, this is if you want to gamble, okay? You can get a berserker out if you want, and you can normally aim your target right here and use top spin and right side spin to get this ball to roll onto the green. It is a little bit more of a technical shot. You just want to make sure that what you're doing is when you set up your shot that you're clipping the rough and rolling out. So your ball guideline should be in the rough and then rolling out onto the fairway and green. And you just have to be careful that you don't use a lot of right curl, because the right curl could kick from the fairway over here. You're not going to water the ball, but you will be stuck in the bunker. It's a shot that I've played before in rookie, and it's a shot that I might play in the final round if we get the same type of wind, just to be a little bit more aggressive. But for the qualifying purposes, to kind of show everybody the easiest way to play it, I decided to lay up. Max side spin to the left, yellow ring at the top of the rough here. Notice the ball guideline is staying completely away from the sand bunker. Pull this one at mid, and then I want you to use a little bit of curl. So notice here, the left edge of my ball is touching the inner wall of the target zone. Perfect ball. And this thing rolls really nicely onto the fairway. Now, the only thing that I don't like about my shot is I end up having to take this with a wedge. I would much rather take this with a thorn. So for me, I'm playing this one no elevation. I'm playing it at max distance of my wedge. That is for me. You may take this same shot and you may be using your short iron instead of your wedge. You would more than likely then be at minimum distance with no elevation. So please make sure that you're checking your own distance and what club you're on, because I think a lot of people watching this will not be taking this with a wedge like I am. But regardless, this hole plays really well with the perfect ball. You know, normally you just aim at the hole and you get this thing to drop in for an eagle. You can see here that the green is very bumpy, so just make sure that you have a good ball guideline going to the pin when you take that shot. All right, hole number 9, very, very close to an albatross, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do to get it. Here we're going max top spin. Now, as you can see here, I'm moving my target. Notice when I start here, my target is in the rough. I'm going to move my target to the left and push up to max to where you can see my ball guideline onto the fairway now, okay? I don't need to adjust for elevation. I'm getting pretty much direct headwind. So here we're going to use overpower and try to hit as close to perfect as we can. All we want to do is get this ball onto this fairway right here. Some of you with lower level clubs, you know, you may want to use a Kingmaker to reduce the wind even more. If you're playing with money balls, you might want to use like a Power 4 wind resistance 2 or 3 ball, okay? Or even a Berserker, doesn't matter. Those are the options that I would go with. Here, I want you to notice, I put in the graphic, I want you to play this minus 5% at max. And here's why I say that. The shot you are going to see is played minus 10% at max. That's the shot you're going to see. So you're going to see me pull this 3.4 rings. So notice here, I'm using no side spin. A little bit more than 1 bar top spin, ball guide line going through the hole. .4 rings. Again, this is minus 10% at max. Perfect ball. And I told you we had a lot of balls close to dropping into the hole. Now, why do I say play minus 5%? Well, here's why. If I would have played minus 5%, I would have had to pull 3.6 rings. Keep in mind, I only pulled 3.4, which means I missed right. So 3.6 would have made me pull 0.2 more rings to the left, and that ball would have definitely been in for an albatross. But anyways, there's a path to a minus 15 on rookie. I'll be working on pro next. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you become a subscriber. I'd really appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up button and let me know how you do in the comments. Thanks, everybody.